Today we are starting lesson 3 in chapter 4. We are on page 85 right there in your math workbook. You need to be following along and fill in your box here as we show our thinking together. So lesson 3 is called Estimate Products by One-Digit Numbers. What you can do after this, I can estimate products of one-digit numbers and determine whether the exact product is reasonable. So just like when we were working on addition and subtraction of multi-digit numbers, and we did some estimating to know if the answer that we found was reasonable or not, we're going to do the same thing with some multiplication now. So to get us started, the Spark Your Learning question says, Emma works for a traveling carnival. She needs to order 84 stuffed prizes for each of the 6 game booths. Emma estimates that she needs to order about 480 prizes. Is her estimate reasonable? Show your thinking. Okay, a couple clues in here. We know that when we see that word about, that is a clue that we are finding an estimate, not an exact amount. So she thinks that she needs to order about 480 prizes, and we're going to determine if that is reasonable or not. So let's take some of the information that we have from the story problem. 84 stuffed prizes need to go for each of the 6 game booths. Okay, so that means each of those 6 booths need 84 prizes, and she wondered about how many she would need to order then. Let's first write out an equation that we would solve to get an answer to this problem. Okay, if each booth needs 84 prizes and there are 6 booths, that means we're going to need to multiply 84 times 6. Now again, in this lesson, we're not finding the exact products. We're not finding the exact answer of what 84 times 6 is. What we are going to solve is an estimate, knowing about how many. So think for a minute about what we would do if we needed to find an estimate. If you're thinking that we need to round, you are correct, okay? Let's take this 2-digit number, 84, and let's round 84 to a nice, easier number to work with. So if I think through 84, I'm going to go ahead and round it to the nearest 10. Okay, find your place, look next door, 5 or bigger, add 1 more, 4 or less, let it rest. Next door is a 4, so that means I'm going to let this 8 rest. And I know that 84 would be rounded to 80. My other factor in my equation is 6, so I could think through 80 times 6 to know about how many prizes she would need, since 80 is the rounded number of 84. Go back to thinking about our first lesson where we were looking at basic facts when we multiply, and one of our factors is a nice multiple of 10 here. Since 80 is a multiple of 10, that can help us out. So our basic fact would be 8 times 6, and 8 times 6 is 48. But don't forget, we need that 0 from the 80 to be included in, which would make it 480. Is that the answer that Emma came up with as her estimate? It is. She came up with 480. And when we rounded 84 to 80, we have the same answer. So Emma's estimate is reasonable.